Oh, it used to be a fish. It used to be a fish. But then Chris Fraley sat on the fence. Then Chris Fraley sat on the fence. Then it sat on the fence. You were such a fish. 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 Goat versus fish. Chris Fraley. Chris Fraley going to the fence. Going to the fence. Goat versus fish. Chris Fraley on the fence. Chris Fraley on the fence. Fraying away. Fraying away. Fraying away on the fence. Fraying away on the fence. Fraying away on the fence. Oh, the fence is fraying away. The fence is fraying away. The fence is fraying away. Fraley. Fraley. Fraley fence. It is a Fraley fence. How frail the fence! How frail the fence! Oh, it used to be a strong fish, but a frail fence now, a frail fence now. Oh, my verses. Oh, my verses. Celebration for fish. And Blackmanfish. Blackmanfish has come into the verses. Chris Fraley has come into the verses, and now we are going to watch a verses. We are going to watch a verses. A Blackmanfish! Are you prepared for Blackmanfish? It was a fish. It was a fish. Now it is on the fence. Listen here, Blackmanfish! Welcome again to Goat vs. Fish. Welcome again to Goat vs. Fish! Blackmanfish. Blackmanfish. Let's get to this verses. Let's get to this verses. Let's get to this verses. Goat vs. Fish. Goat vs. Fish. It is Blackmanfish. It is Blackmanfish.
I am Blackmanfish.
Say it loudly, say it loudly.
God versus fish. I am Blackmanfish. Blackmanfish. It's the versus. It's only about the versus. The versus. Goat versus fish.
Goat versus fish to you. Goat versus fish to you. I have a question for you, Blackmanfish.
I'm Blackmanfish.
Yes, the question is, yes, you know Goat versus Fish says there is no black or white, there's only goat and fish, but I know that you are versusing one. It is calling itself, what is it calling itself, Mr. White or White Man, or what is it?
Mr. White. There is no black and white, but Mr. White is very white. He sleeps on bars of gold and he watches Frasier all the time, so he's pretty white. But there's only goat versus fish, so he is goat because I am fish.
It is goat, white is goat, and black is fish, according to Blackmanfish. Now look at that verses. Goat versus fish. First verses. It is shouting goat versus fish. It is shouting goat versus fish. It is Blackmanfish. You see how the fish is rising? The fish is rising. The fish is stepping to goat versus fish. The fish is stepping to goat versus fish. It is stepping to goat versus fish, and it is saying goat versus fish. If you ever want the attention of goat versus fish, just say goat versus fish. Let us bring in the goat. Let us bring in the goat. It is 4 goat. 4 goat, 3 fish, and 1 on the fence. 1 on the fence. Fence sitter Fraley, the Fraley fence sitter on the fence. This is very special versus it. Even before goat versus fish asks the one true question, it declares fish. It declares fish. Now, goat versus fish, always pleased to ask you the one true question, but it declared fish. It declared fish because it had verses with goat versus fish in a prior versus Blackmanfish. That is a celebration. That is a celebration for fish. We give it the fish, we give it the fish. Goat versus fish gives the fish. And Blackmanfish receives the fish. Look at that fish reception. Look, classic fish reception. Classic fish reception. Goat versus fish with the fish. Reception of fish. Fishception. Reception of fish.
God versus fish. I am Blackmanfish.
And you know it is Blackmanfish because it has a fish and it says Blackman and it says fish. It says Blackman and it says fish. Goat versus fish. It is like Blackmanfish. It's Blackmanfish with the verses, with the fence poking out of its verses. Oh, goat versus fish, there was a fence poking out of its verses. The whole verses. Look at it. Look at it. Look at Blackmanfish. Look, it says black, but the looks like a mighty fence. Now, we just thought that this was some sort of just cool, edgy verses. Oh, I am the very cool Blackmanfish. Yes, look at the verses. Yes. Oh, yes. Very, very. We just have this verses. We always have this fence with us. You know, we always have this fence with us because we are too cool for the fence, and we have the fence, and we can just make this fish. We can groom the fish. We can groom the fish. We can pick. We can pick. The verses continue.
Versing one, it is calling itself, what is it calling itself, Mr. White or White Man, or what is it?
Mr. White, there is no black and white, but Mr. White is very white.
Yes, there's the verses. There is no black or white, but Mr. White is very white. We should have pondered this verses.
So he is goat, because I am fish.
Goat versus fish, clearly. Goat, fish. Goat, fish. Goat versus fish. Goat versus fish. Goat versus fish. Now, this is not to say that Goat versus Fish thought that we would find out if it says for itself it is goat or fish, but we trust Blackmanfish. With verses now, there is no black or white, there's only goat and fish. Mr. White is goat and I am a fish, and we have to come together in this verses. So, Chris Fraley, you are saying you are fish? You declared fence a verses ago? You want to be with Fencebot on the fence? Don't leave me, Blackman. Don't leave me, Blackman fence. I'm lonely. I am lonely on the fence. Yeah, celebration for goat versus fish. Yes, Fencebot. Now go, goat versus fish. Once more for the verses. Chris Fraley, are you goat or are you fish? It is Blackmanfish. Celebration for fish. Celebration for fish.
Blackmanfish.
Blackmanfish. Blackmanfish.
With goat versus fish.
They stop keeping saying goat versus fish.
And then they want Blackmanfish to say goat versus fish, and it is just versus
Fish continues. Goat versus fish. Goat versus fish.
Go.
Goat versus fish.
Blackmanfish.
Goat versus fish.
Blackmanfish.
Even as Blackmanfish says goat versus fish says Blackmanfish. Because we celebrate the ones that celebrate goat versus fish. And we celebrate you who are here in the stream with goat versus fish, and we want to know about your verses this verses. How did you versus the goat this verses? How did you versus the fish? Did you encounter any fenciness this verses? Tell goat versus fish in the chat. We wish to hear from you. 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 Chris Fraley, off the fence, and now fish, off the fence, and now fish. Four fish in the verses, and four goat, four fish 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 and four goat. Goat versus fish is four fish and four goat. Goat versus fish is four fish and four goat. Goat versus fish is four fish and four goat. Goat versus fish is four fish and four goat. Goat versus fish is six goat and four fish. Goat versus fish is six goat and four fish. Goat versus fish is six goat and four fish.
The goat versus fish. How about this? Goat versus fish. The versus. The versus. There will be no fence sitting in this stream. If you know what I mean, go check out Goat versus